It's really hard to market your books when you're an author, and especially when you have about 70 of them on your backlist. So if you're asking, why are you always sharing about your books on media, it's because most of the time no one else is going to do it for you unless you pay for advertising. And at some point every month, as a writer, your advertising budget is going to run out. A lot of authors do self-promote, and you have to be brave if you want to be successful. You've got to be able to take the risk, stand behind your product and the hard work that you've put into it, and not be afraid to share. I'm wrapping a pair of new slippers for my husband. Pretty cool, huh? You just have to do it. There are a few authors that will come alongside you and share your books, but not that many. So you pay for advertising. And I do. I pay for quite a bit of advertising. But to reach my engaged followers and more active, like we would call them, like your super fans, you need to be sharing. And especially that also help get new readers. And keep in mind that not everybody knows that I write Christian fiction. So yeah, I do share some of my own books a lot on media. So do many other Christian authors. We are really appreciative of those who come along and drop a little heart or a comment about it so other people can, we're constantly fighting the algorithms. So those sorts of things are just completely invaluable and so encouraging to authors. And you have to understand that there's a lot of books, millions of books on Amazon. So you are basically invisible unless you are sharing about your book and promoting other authors' work and your own. So if you want people to find your book, you gotta be brave. Take the step, share your book, get it out there. What do you think? It does take courage to share about your books, and it is like super deflating when the algorithms hit you the wrong way and you don't get any feedback from something you posted. You just gotta take the good with the bad. One thing I've discovered is that your newsletter mailing list, that is where you see the most results. You get a social media presence when you post on social media, but your newsletter, that is where people want to hear from you. They signed up for your newsletter because they want to hear about your books. So I really love when I send out newsletters and I get these little notes back from my subscribers, and I see lots of sales coming back each time I share my newsletter. So I try to explain this to new author friends who don't know the ropes, that your newsletter is really where to put your efforts. Now, as far as sending out your newsletter, I recommend about once a week or 2 or 3 times a month. Some people will send out newsletters every couple of days or even daily. And I think that's just a lot for our subscribers. And I don't recommend going like crazy with it, doing it every single day. But definitely put one out there a couple times a month, and you can feel safe and comfortable with that. You are going to lose some subscribers with each and every time you share a newsletter, but don't worry about those people. They weren't there to buy your books, or they are not for whatever reason. Maybe they haven't read one of your books or don't like your writing style. You are not going to reach everybody every single time. They're not all going to love your books, but the ones that do, they stay on your newsletter list and they enjoy hearing from writers. As for social media, I think it's variety. I think readers really love variety when they hear from authors, and I really try to do that, and it is a balance that I struggle with, because when I'm deep in writing or editing mode, I don't always have time to be creating exciting new reels and thinking of variety and what to post, but I do try to keep a nice mix. Really bad to just do book post, and it happens. The best of us get busy, and that's about all we can do, but I do try to even put variety in my book posts with new graphics and pointing out different elements about the books in each little blurb with my posts. So those are some tips for those of us that are writers who might want to try that. And yes, it's great when your church comes along beside you, and I've had a number of Christian ladies from my church come along beside me and help me with encouraging response and feedback on both my social media and my newsletter. So that's always so meaningful. And even with purchases, they've just been wonderful. But we should not, as Christian writers, expect our church to support us. We need to be asking ourselves, how can I support my church? That's the question, not the other way around. Yes, being a writer is so hard, and it's really hard. I get asked a lot of times about self-promo, how I feel about that. And as an indie author and traditionally published author, it's up to you. You got to get out there and be brave and mention your books to people. They're not just going to find it on a fluke. That's not the way that it happens the majority of the time. I always say that God is kind of my PR guy. He'll let people come along and find my posts and send me people who are so helpful and wonderful to share, people that are willing to share about my books, people that respond to my posts on media and so forth. But yeah, you have to be brave. You have to take the step and just do the best you can. And it's awesome when you get the feedback, the comments, the likes, the shares, and the sales.